And welcome everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you today to talk to you briefly. It's a very brief Facebook Live today due to my schedule. I really want to deliver this message today around Jesus as love or a badass. So what is this whole thing about? Why does it matter? We always have seen Jesus as, for most of us, as either our salvation or as that love that is that embodied love, is what I want to say. That embodied love that we are here to emulate, to follow his example. And although those things are true, that he is that love, he did talk about turning the other cheek and all those things, that at the same time, he was a truth teller. He was somebody who showed up in powerful ways that created controversy, right? And he was someone that wanted to speak out for those that were downtrodden or judged, right? He who is without sin can cast the first stone, for example, right? Who could argue? I think that's one of the best things when people say, well, what are judging people? Just, okay, he is who without sin may cast the first judgment, right? Jesus was that badass, and I've hesitated to call him that because I feel like, well, when I channel Jesus, Jesus comes through as this pure love, right? Me channeling Jesus, but as Jesus walked this earth on this physical plane, he was laying things down as much as he was, that soft, gentle stuff as well. He commanded his people to join him, or I want to say commanded or asked people to join him as disciples, and leave everything, and you'll find your salvation or your freedom or whatever, your enlightenment, maybe another way to look at it. And plenty of people said, no thanks, I think I'll just keep on with my life. If we were to come back into the level of devotion that so many of the characters in the Bible, whether you love the Bible or you have issues with it, I have issues with it and love it. There's so many examples, and Jesus is one of them, of just being badass and following their guidance, listening to the voice of Source or God or whatever. My Father in heaven has sent me. He showed up on the Sabbath, which he talked about again and again about observing. He would show up on a Sabbath. They're out there picking grains to eat lunch or whatever. And the Pharisees or whatever are like, whoa, what do you do? What do you do? Constantly, the Pharisees were constantly questioning him. He bucked up against their traditions, their stringent laws that were, very controlling. And he was like, okay, yeah, there's something truth to what you're talking about, but that's not the whole truth. And and so he kept showing that. We're doing the healings on the Sabbath, all those things. Like, there's so many stories. Him coming in, people questioning him. He didn't just say, oh, well, okay, whatever you think. He would show up and he would say, they question about the laws from Abraham, etc. He would say things like, I precede, Abraham, basically. I mean, my father, is, I'm not an expert in quoting all these verses, but as you read through the Bible, he's very commanding. He's got a commanding presence. It's like, I say in a funny way, but like, he's like, yo, my Father has brought me. Listen to me here. I have been and always will be, or whatever. And so he was badass in claiming the truth of who he is. And that is what we're called to do, is to claim the truth of who we truly are as infinite beings, as these amazing, beautiful, pure love beings, a source, that we just get caught up in the fragmentation, the sense of fragmentation or separation energy here on earth, that heaven on earth is already here when we allow ourselves to come back to the truth of who we are. And when we can feel and sense and perceive that, and when we're in that awareness, we allow our path to become much easier. And we can work with rigor, yes, from our heart, from our spiritual connection, on anything that we're here to accomplish in our lives, especially as healers, especially as coaches or whatever, all the loving, beautiful, heart-centered ways that you're serving and you're sharing. And, there's this fallacy too that, Jesus was just poor and it was just all poverty stricken, and okay, he was rich energetically, and he was rich at times with being supported financially as well. And when people question like how he took care of himself, the perfume on the feet, right, was one of the main stories that people point to. He's getting pampered. A lot of money was paid out for this perfume. He was like, "What? Don't you think I deserve it?" Basically, and I'll translate, easily from what was shared. So, that we're worthy to just, we too are all of us are those infinite children of God. So the answer really to this question, before I do some channeling today, is it's both. And the reason why it's so important to claim that badass aspect of Jesus is because we have been pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, told that to not trust who we truly are, that we, our conditioned mind is, go along, the slave mind. We literally have like this sort of, this desire to follow authority and to give our power away to other people and to please others and to show up and, I'll just be that love, that good citizen that will do these things. Sure, I'll go to war and, I'll do these things because I'm a good citizen or whatever it is. It's like we're blindly following the minds of men that are manipulating us instead of in controlling us, in a sense, with those thought forms that we're allowing to have in our consciousness. When we could wake up to the infinite beings that we are, bring our infinite power, bring our infinite clarity of who we are and what the real truth is, break the trance, allow ourselves to show up and be as powerful as we are, to make the impact we're here to make through our gifts, to share our gifts, to share the infinite power we are, our divine gifts, and share them generously, to show up, to be a blaze in the fire that we are, visibly, totally, and know that we're totally worthy to receive everything, and that we already have everything, that we already are that which we seek. And as we allow ourselves to be that badass and be that loving at the same time, that's where things really work. I'm going to channel Jesus today briefly. Like I said, this is a brief one today. And we're going to do a brief channeling from Jesus to bring forth that love. Because when I'm channeling Jesus, it's the love. I'm here to bring the fire, a portion of that fire, the representation of that fire, that badass. When I'm talking, when Jesus comes through, it's that deeper love, typically. So let's get a quick message from Jesus to wrap up for today. I just want to share one more thing, guys. The reason why this is so important, again, is remember, we're not to be docile. We're not to be just turn the other cheek. We're meant to stand up and to be in our strength and our power and command those things that want to be commanded through us. Yes, through the Mother, Father, God, whatever you want to call it, the impulse of the divine that wants to be so-called badass, which means just be strengthened, just be who you are. But going to the word badass helps you remember who you truly are. And we have to clear this pattern so you're no longer slinking around, walking on eggshells, worrying about if you're going to get in trouble, if people will not like you. We have to break the trance. And as we break the trance for others. Okay, Jesus is coming in. Be the love that you are. Follow the commandments of your heart to be the love that you are. Let the words that are written in the Bible be a guide as it resonates with your truth and your heart. Yes, be firm and strong and clear in the conviction of who you are. Love generously, unconditionally, and fully. Know all is coming to be fulfilled through you. For I have sent you. My Father here in heaven has sent you. You have been brought here to experience this deep, pure love that you are in this dimension, in this realm. To enjoy and delight the pure love that you are, to be the strength that you are simultaneously. Many miracles are within you to share and to experience with the world as it awakens to the truth that love, sanctity for all life, honor and respect for the earth and all things, makes all well and whole. I give thanks for each of you as you walk your path, letting the flame of your hearts guide your way. Thank you. All right, everybody, thank you. Thank you, Melanie, for being here today, and everybody else that's been tuning in today. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm going to have a badass meditation coming up early next week. Look for the announcements on that. And I look forward to continuing to rock it with you. Lots of love. Bye for now.